Today we're continuing our review series of Rapture with issue number 3.
You are now watching WhoDooTV.
Welcome back to WhoDooTV. I'm Hoosier.
And I'm Jared.
Today is Rapture number 3, written by Matt Kindt, art by CAFU, with Robert Delatorre and Andrew DALHOUSE on the colors again.
Gosh, this book looks great, and the story is awesome in this one too. It just keeps going. Rapture is an awesome miniseries, and number 3 just adds so much more to it.
There is so much in this book. We have to do a special spoiler warning. It's hard to talk about this book without giving spoilers away. So pause it, come back, and we'll be here when you're done.
Number 2 left us off with Babel and Shadow Man discussing what Babel needs to complete his tower to pierce into the live side, and he needs Shadow Man, so it leaves Shadow Man with a bit of a choice.
He's trying to actually take Shadow Man's Loa, and Jack feels like that's kind of his cross, like he's burdened with having a Loa, and he's really contemplating it. And so we get a little bit more history lesson of who Babel is, where he came about to have his powers, and his connection with these Loas, and his planning on when he was on Earth trying to pierce the live side. And we learn that he actually one day did, and that's what banished him into the Deadside and had also Babel's tower taken there, where Rex took over.
All while Babel is telling Shadow Man this, he's leading him to the top of the tower, where he has a ritual prepared, and all he needs is Shadow Man, the key to get into the live side.
So Ninjak is back with Punk Mambo, Tama, and Rex, trying to figure out where Shadow Man is. So they are going up the tower, and Tama is just, her wit and her funniness in this book never ceases to amaze me. Tama has been a character that I'm growing on me more and more. And we get to see how Rex is actually a pretty bad mofo as he's battling one of the undergods that is protecting the castle.
And once the team defeats this undergod, they reach the top of the tower, but they're too late because the ritual is underway and Shadow Man is being pierced and separated from his Loa. And at this moment he feels complete relief until he sees something that he doesn't quite like. And that's where this issue ends.
This book is really impressing still. From the art to the story, Matt Kindt is just doing a wonderful job on this. One of my biggest things that's kind of annoying, and it's probably good because he probably shouldn't like him, is Babel and the way he talks and the clever way they are doing the lettering on this. Dave Sharp doing the extra colors in the letters when Babel's speaking, and then a couple words that are kind of Pig Latin backwards, really makes you wonder how would Babel speak, but it also just makes you just kind of get tired of him too. And then trying to have like a narrative voice of what Babel sounds like is just a question. I can't really put it in. Unlike Punk Mambo or Ninjak, you kind of have an idea of what they sound like if they actually did talk.
Story-wise, I think this book is amazing. I think the true story does lie in the Babel and Shadow Man story, but it's still really fun to like watch the team try and get back Shadow Man. What I really enjoyed is when they're climbing the tower, you can see the different types of techniques that each of the people use. For instance, Ninjak uses his technology to try and figure out which direction to go, but Tama uses her nose and her book to try and figure out where to go. If one side smells like rotten eggs, she thinks that's where the undergods are, so she just keeps walking that way. Another moment was when Tama's trying to figure out how to defeat this undergod. She reads her book and sees that, oh, they need to speak with the undergod and answer 3 riddles. But as she's figuring this out for herself, here comes Rex the Razor just to chop the head off of this thing. It's ridiculous, but I love it because each of them have their own technique, their own way, and they get up there just kind of climbing on top of each other, and it's pretty entertaining. This title, Rapture, focuses a lot on the Loas. Now, you just got back from Haiti, kind of the home of voodoo. Tell us what you learned about that.
After reading the first 2 arcs, there was a lot of questions I had about the Loas and the previous Shadow Man arcs. And I was talking to one of the locals there. And what I learned is that each family actually has a Loa tied to it. And they get handed down per generation why they happen. And so there's interesting rituals that happen with these Loas. Like they eat glass without any issues. They walk on coal without issues. They will burn hot pokers and rub them across their chest without scarring. And there's just a lot of interesting things that these people that are possessed with Loas do. But one of the interesting things I learned is that when somebody loses their Loa or goes away from their Loa, it typically means that a bad thing is going to happen to that particular person. And that's pretty much exactly what they let me know, is when a Loa leaves, something's bad going to happen to that person that the Loa just left. And that brings us to where we are with Shadow Man.
Wow, yeah. I mean, Shadow Man in this book, we said he's separated from his Loa, so it can't be good for him, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it leaves me with a lot of questions on what's going to happen. Makes me question on Matt Kint's research on this and what he looked into with the voodoo culture and the voodoo history with that. Because it sounds like if it stays true to that, we might be seeing the end of Jack.
With that being said, what would you score this book?
Again, CAFU kills it on the art. De La Torre does his great history piece that he's been doing great at. And Matt Kint's writing has been on point here again. And so I'm going to give this one a 4.25 right now.
I am loving this story. It's so good. It's got me so enthralled. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Do they pierce the live side in the fourth one? I don't know. But Matt Kint has just been killing it. He's got me so engrossed in this. And CAFU's art has been amazing as well. I'm really enjoying looking at all that. It really is a piece of artwork and it's so good. Andrew DALHOUSE does great on the colors as well. I mean, the Loa look amazing, and even that history scene about Babel, telling his history, how he got where he is, that whole thing just looks so good. I'm giving this one a 4.75. It's just a super quality book, and I'm super glad to be reading this one. In light of what Hoosier has shared about the Loas, what do you think is going to happen to Shadow Man in number 4? Also with number 3, what do you think about this one? What are your favorite parts? What would you score this one? Let us know in the comments below. Hey, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button below.
There's also that subscribe button down there too. Make sure you punch that. We'd appreciate it. Follow us at Twitter at WhoDooTV, also on Facebook.
Yeah, and we'd like to thank our friends over at OutrightGeekery.com. Be sure to check them out. They got all sorts of nerdy stuff on there.
Links down in the description. Thank you for watching WhoDooTV. We appreciate you guys.